wood house simply wasn't going to cut it for this homeowner. Instead, this house is going to be built out of solid concrete. The reason the homeowner needed to build with concrete instead of wood is the location. Just this past year, a tornado touched down within view of his lot. While it's not super common for this area, it has happened before and it could happen again. It's also very dry out here, and there's no fire hydrants since it's a rural area. So if there were to be a fire, the fire department would arrive too late with too little water. While wood is a great building material, it doesn't do well with fire or high winds. So the homeowner decided that all of the exterior walls of his house needed to be concrete. By building with concrete, the house can't burn down and it can't blow away. There's also some secondary benefits, like having a bulletproof, noise-canceling house that cuts your energy bills in half. But that's just a bonus. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with the giant Legos, these are actually our concrete forms. This is a product called ICF. It comes in these blocks that snap together. They're made of expanded polystyrene. They're hollow in the center so we can fill them with concrete. And what makes this system unique is that, unlike traditional concrete forms, which are removed after the concrete pour, these stay in place and serve as insulation, hence the name insulated concrete form. These blocks also have built-in studs for drywall and siding, and you'll see me using those to attach bracing to the forms throughout this video. But by having those built in, we get the benefits of concrete without being confined to the brutalist style of architecture that most people strongly dislike. Something else people strongly dislike is poor workmanship, myself included. There's nothing more frustrating than dealing with someone who only does one thing and they suck at it. Unfortunately, that's the perfect description of the last contractor who worked on this project. See, we didn't build this from the ground up. I would have liked to, but that's not how this happened. The homeowner initially had another contractor working on the ICF and the framing, and he had to let them go over the quality of their work and how long they were taking. This has been under construction since February, and we came out here in September, and the roof is not on yet. So it's been terribly slow, and there were some odd mistakes that they made, but the long story short is that he let them go, and we were hired to finish the ICF and the framing. When we showed up, we started by pouring the first floor walls. Although I didn't get any footage of that. I had bought my GoPro camera just after that, and it was a pretty hectic day, so I didn't bother to take my phone out and record it, although I should have. Okay. I do have this little clip here, though. There's actually a handful of gable ends on this house, but most of them are in the attic space, so the homeowner decided to stick frame those. However, the great room has a vaulted ceiling, so he wanted the concrete to go all the way up to the roof in that area, which I think was the right call. This house isn't going to have the Mayan temple look to it. We just stacked the blocks long. We had to do this because the truss company was totally incompetent. Every delivery was missing something. The way they designed the trusses didn't match the structural plans. In fact, they didn't match their own shop drawings. They agreed to remake a couple. They said they understood, but I didn't have a lot of confidence in them, so I decided to wait until we had the remakes before cutting these gables. And it's a good thing I did, because if we had cut them per the structural plans, our wall would have been too tall. We would have had to go back and cut it again, which I suppose is not the end of the world, but it would have been a waste of time to cut it twice. Because I know the standard for YouTube is artificially and exceptionally high, I wanted to write and include some kind of short story to fill the gaps that are naturally present in this footage. There's only so much I can explain, and really I just don't want to bore you to death. But I really couldn't think of anything that didn't feel totally artificial and totally fake. And I know most content is fake and overproduced and written by a team of people and full of stories that never actually happen. But I also believe that the commentary they add holds engagement, which makes the content more successful, which makes the business more successful. Like I said, I couldn't think of anything, so I'm just gonna let the footage breathe, and there might be a little bit of peace and quiet while you watch the highlights of several weeks of work. And I will just leave it at that. But let me know, would you prefer the overproduced content with the constant commentary, or are you okay with something that's a bit more casual? You bring it up here. Come under this one. And then just throw the screws in your pouches and bring them up. Watch yourself, Cody. Okay. Huh?
Looks a lot better now.
No.
Yeah, it's this. Slowly but surely. I checked it from this side. One of these are fucked up.
Which nuts are you looking for?
Right there, you see the back?
These nuts?
And he's recording that bullshit.
Dude, too easy. What, you think that's primo content right there, or what?
Maybe it's like 2018.
Dude, I'm only like 7 years too late. Like most things. Dude, maybe after that I'll buy some Bitcoin.
You look like you're trying to invest in shit like that though, Mike.
I wish I was that smart.
Bro, Isaac makes some good money doing that shit. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. This is a good angle to see what those braces are doing. We've got them coming
up on both sides of the wall. With something way up in the air, I don't really want to lean it in and then push it out. That's what you would do with a more simple build, because the weight of the concrete against the turnbuckle, you could push it out. But if it leans out and you only got bracing on one side, it's kind of hard to lean it back in, and really you can't. So something like this, I can get the wall plumb and just leave it like that. So those braces extend onto those horizontal 2x4s, which then get that C channel over them, like a whaler and stiff back, and that holds everything together. Plywood over our seams and around our windows to keep the window bucking and the block from separating. We have this 2x that runs along our roof pitch, and that's because we're going to put plywood over the top to hold the concrete in the wall as we pour higher up and get a nice smooth line. We'll actually put our bolts through that OSB, so that way they're anchored into the wall since we can't wet set them.
Now, for those of you who recognize that this front gable's got kind of a funky shape to it, there's a reason for that. This is an intersecting gable roof. The porch roof, the south side, and the north side of the house all kind of converge on both sides of this gable here, and it's going to look something like this.
What's that?
Might be like 5 right now. It still sounds pretty good.
Okay. Oh, you could tell just by hearing it?
Yeah, I listen.
Gotcha. You must have been doing this for a while then.
Go bad.
Yeah, I think we'll add a little bit. They're saying it's we can kink it off if we need to, or give us a little more control.
Yeah, you can. Just
Yeah. We'll be okay with the air cuff. I mean, that'll be pretty good, and that'll just give us a little more accuracy.
Yeah.
Putting it in the wall.
That'll give us a lot better accuracy, so that'll be good.
Yeah. He's trying to say my aim's no good.
Yeah, look around. I don't even say